Good morning, everyone. I welcome Suja ma'am. I welcome Sarmishna ma'am and then Sashikala ma'am here. And I request Sarmishna ma'am to take over the session with the welcome address and introducing about the event.
Yeah, so good morning, one and all present here. I welcome Ms. Suja Sukumaran from Enfold Trust to take time and give a very important, talk on a very important topic, which is cyber safety. Because the students, all of you know that now as we are progressing, we are towards the digital world, and here we find that there is lot of issues which are emerging, which we need to be very careful. And keeping this in mind, this talk has been organized, and madam will take you through as to what are the issues you can face and how you can overcome if there is some problem which is happening, how you should be overcoming that. And you should also know that our institution has ICC. ICC is Internal Complaints Committee, which works for POSH, that is prevention of sexual harassment of any workplace or any organization. Every organization must have and should have it, and that is how we are having this program. So I will not take much of your time. Over to Hema Malini. I welcome all the students for this talk. Please feel free to interact with Madam Suja, and over to Hema Malini. Yes, thank you all.
Lakshmi, can you unmute? Lakshmi, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So good morning, one and all. Today we see that more than 2 billion people around the world are online. And every time when they share their information, they will have some fear whether the information what they are sharing is secure, whether their privacy is protected or not. These concerns, and this is what is concerning today. And today we are honored to have with us an eminent speaker, Ms. Suja Sukumaran, who is co-head Support and Rehabilitation, Enfold Trust. Suja Madam has been working with Enfold Trust since 2013 as a support person assisting children who have gone through sexual violence. As a support person, she and her colleagues help the child and family navigate the criminal justice system during the investigation and trial. Previously, she had worked as a court-appointed volunteer for Javelin Delinquents for Violence of Children, an organization in California, USA. She currently imparts training for POSH, POXO, and life skills, and is also an counselor in addition to being an ICC external member for organization. She was a research scientist, a journalist, a writer, and a hobby photographer previously. Welcome you to the event, ma'am. We will not take much of your time. Over to you, ma'am.
Before that, I request Principal ma'am to give 2 words because I think ma'am is still busy. So I request ma'am to talk about the event, and then over to you, Suja ma'am.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. Yeah. A very good morning to one and all present here. Okay, let me just brief because all the students may not be aware about what we have set up this ICC. According to the Constitution of India, rights to equality is a fundamental right. That includes right to equality before law, prohibition of discrimination, equality between men and women, right to work, right to education, etc., are the important directive principles of state policy. It is further advised that colleges, universities to be proactive by developing a conducive environment on the campus where the women are respected and they are treated with dignity. As per the guidelines of UGC and Supreme Court, a committee against sexual harassment, the Internal Complaints Committee, to be established to provide a healthy and congenial atmosphere to the staff and students of the college. As per the guidelines of UGC, NAC, and Supreme Court, MLAC has established the Internal Complaints Committee for effective enforcement of basic human rights of gender equality and assurance of an environment free of sexual harassment and abuse. The objective of ICC is to develop healthy and safe atmosphere for the faculty and students of the college and to prevent sexual harassment or exploitation of any kind. Policy measures and procedures are laid down to combat issues if any arises, and the students are made aware of these proactive measures through seminars and outreach program. The College Internal Complaints Committee addresses the grievance filed in a confidential and sensitive manner. To highlight more on the issues relating to safety, we have with us Ms. Suja Sukumaran, who is our resource person and who will speak more about cyber security. And at MLAC, we also take care no such issues will be aggravated, and we will hope that no such issues will arise, even otherwise we have the committee to take care of. And it is for every student to be aware that such a committee exists in the college, not as a student level in the college, even if you are moving to the outside world, everywhere such a committee will be there for you to make use of it and see that the environment is a safe environment for all women who are working. Thank you so much. Please make best use of the opportunity provided. Whatever doubts you have, I think Madam will be there to, clear all your doubts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Suja, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you, Madam Shashikala, Madam Sharmishta, Hema, and the others from the college. And I welcome everyone to the session, all the students who are here attending the session. Very warm welcome to all of you. I hope you will stay tuned in till the very end, because this is a very important session that I will be doing. As I proceed through the session, you will find that there are key points and issues that are currently happening in our society, among children, among teenagers, and also among adults when it comes to cyber safety, cyber security. And I hope I will be able to address these issues, and you will leave the session a little more informed after the session is over. I want you to be a little more informed than what you are now. And I also want to empower you with the knowledge of what kind of legal recourse is there and how one goes about protecting oneself in cyberspace. Okay. With that introduction, I am going to start, and I'm also going to share my screen. I would really appreciate it if this is also an interactive session. So when I have questions for you, please unmute and feel free to talk. Don't hesitate whether your answer is right or wrong. It does not matter. I want you to share your thoughts on this. Be open, and let's have an interactive discussion as well. All right. So I'm going to close my video and just do a presentation. So please give me a second. Can you all see my screen? Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is visible, right? Okay. All right. So today's topic, what I'm going to talk about, as was described to you, is about cyber safety, cyber security. All right. So before I even start, I want to know from you what you understand about cyber safety and what you understand about cyber security. Can someone unmute and just tell me what cyber safety is?
Can I speak, ma'am?
Yes, please. You introduce
Okay,
yourself.
ma'am.
You can tell me your name and then which year you are, and then start talking.
Sure, ma'am. I'm Nikita from first year. And so talking about cyber safety
Yes.
and cyber, all these things, I don't know much about it, but all the articles, newspaper articles and different posts which I go through online and offline, it's
Yes.
like what I understand is cyber safety is like a crime which is dealt with the help of all the codings and decodings of a computer language, which actually affirms and has got many ranges from account hacking to any like bank account hacking or any other thing, posting and all, or posting some wrong information or getting your details to any stranger, which shouldn't be done. So all
Yeah.
these things come under cyber crime, and it can be done with actually with very ease if you have just got the knowledge, enough knowledge about it.
Correct. Thank you so much. Thank you. Would anyone else like to add to this, to what she just said? What is your understanding of cyber safety? Anybody
Ma'am,
else? Yes.
good morning, ma'am. I'm Arpita Shambhu
Good
from
morning.
BCom first year.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. About cyber security, I just what I understand is it's giving us an education about how safely we can use our developed technology without any involvement of other outside unethical hackers, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible. Thank you so much. Good information. Anybody else wants to add to it?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm Tanushree from BBA final year, and what I understand by cyber safety is how well we can, how well is our technology protected to secure our private information, and whether the site or the like person who's accessing is worth being given any information,
Yeah.
any of our private information, ensuring that our private information does not go outside our boundary to an unknown
entity,
to an unknown person.
Correct. Thank you so much. Very good. So thank you for all of you who have mentioned what is your understanding of it. So that is correct what you said. When we talk about cyberspace, cyber security, cyber crimes, it is anything to do with online. The technology that we use is online. And that can be on your laptop, on your phone, on your computer, and it can be different platforms that you're using. Okay, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be WhatsApp, it could be your SMS, it could be a phone call. Not only that, along with that, we also have other means of accessing our personal information, be it a bank. We do a lot of bank interactions. We do Paytm, we do Google Pay, we do Phone Pay. Those are also means of interacting with other external organizations to access our personal information. Then you have the Aadhaar card. There are so many information, so much information out there about us, correct? So much information out there. So let us talk about how we can keep this safe, okay? And how, I think somebody's mic is on. Can you turn it off, please? Can you mute yourself? Thank you. Yeah. So this session, what I'm going to do is just to take you through all this so that you are aware of what it is that you need to be careful about. Okay, when you're online, when you're on cyberspace. Now, if you just take a look at this picture, can you see this picture? People nowadays. Can someone say what is it you're seeing here and what is the interpretation that you have in your mind about this picture? Anybody?
Excuse
Good
me.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Uh, yes, so according to me, this picture is like even though the people are seeing that a man is drowning, instead of saving him, they are more
Ah,
busy taking pictures and trying to post it on different sites, maybe.
that's correct. That's correct. Isn't that what happens currently these days?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to add to this? What are you seeing when you see this picture?
Excuse me,
More
ma'am.
than the
So busy.
lifespan.
Any one of you? Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
People
I
are
think
so busy in
what
their
is
online lives that they forget the reality.
Exactly, exactly. So what are they doing? They, instead of saving the person, they're so busy taking pictures because they want to post it somewhere. They want to record it. They are forgetting humanity. They are forgetting basic qualities of humanity where we can help another person. It is as if it becomes more important to document it by taking a picture, posting it on Facebook, WhatsApp, and then sharing it and saying, hey, look what happened. I was a witness to this. So in the process, we have become slaves to technology, correct? Instead of us controlling technology, technology is controlling us and our mind. And that is what you see in this picture. And it is so common these days. Now, let's say if there is an accident on a road. Okay, what happens? People surround that accident spot. And the first thing they do is pull out the phone and start taking pictures instead of helping the victim who's on the ground, who may be suffering, who needs to be immediately moved to the hospital. But instead of doing that, they're busy taking pictures so that they can post it somewhere. So that is where I think we are becoming slaves to technology. We are forgetting our basic humanitarian qualities. That is what this picture is showing. All right. So moving on, now what does it mean to be a digital citizen? Now we talk about digital world. We're all digital citizens in some way or the other, every one of us. We may be adults, we may be youngsters. In fact, these days, children who are at the age of 4 and 5-year-old also have a phone in their hand. They also are accessing computers because unfortunately, because of COVID, online classes are happening. They are getting on online classes online. So they are also being exposed to technology. They are also becoming digital citizens at a very early age. So what do you mean by a digital citizen? A digital citizen is someone who is able to understand and fully participate in the digital world with technical and social skills that enable a person to be successful, at the same time be safe in a digital world. That is a digital citizen. Every one of us are digital citizens in one way or the other. We all have access to different forms of digital media. I don't think there's hardly anybody who doesn't have access to some form of digital media. Maybe several years back, nobody had phones, nobody had smartphones. We only had the dial-in phones. The TV was the only electronic media that we used to look at. Those days, we were not so digitally logged in. But these days, every person is a digital citizen. They have a bandwidth on their phone. They have internet access. They have connections. Almost everyone has a Facebook account, Instagram. They're all over. So we are all digital citizens. Okay. Now, when you are a digital citizen, it is important to understand the technology and have the requisite social skills so that you are safe when you're out there in the digital world. Now, what happens when there is an internet presence? You have an internet presence. I have an internet presence. Everybody has. What does it mean? What are the uses? What are the uses of having internet? There are so many uses of having technology, correct? It has its pros and it has its cons. So pros would be accessibility. There is information at your fingertips. You just get on the phone, you get on the computer, just like that, you can access anything you want, any information. You can Google anything you want. So much information is available with just our fingertips. Accessibility is there. There's no geographical limits and it's affordable. bandwidth is affordable, digital data is affordable, almost every phone has internet. So it has become very affordable for people now. Anybody and everybody can get a smartphone. Then you have the other kind of things, the cons. And that comes linking to popularity. Then it starts going into other issues of being popular. How many likes you get, how many shares. People keep forwarding messages left, right, and center on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Facebook. So it has become a society where we instantly forward something we like, we instantly share something we like. Sometimes we don't even verify the information and data to see whether that information, what we're sharing or forwarding, is it genuine? Is it the fact? Is it the truth? Many people don't even cross-check and do a fact check to see whether what we are forwarding is correct or wrong. So, and it also gets tied to how many likes you get on Facebook, how many shares you have, how popular you become on the internet. That is all the cons of having an internet presence. Then you have emoticons for everything. Emoticons are there, these emojis, what you call, it's there everywhere, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you go, you have emoticons. If you like something, you hit a like. And if somebody gets like 100 likes, they're very happy. Oh, I got 100 likes. I'm so popular. Suddenly the popularity gets connected and equal, and equality becomes to how popular you are and how many likes you get, how many shares you get. Suddenly, psychologically, we have started tuning into thinking that the more number of likes we get on our Facebook post, more popular I am, more people like me. So automatically our mind, mentally, psychologically, we are living in a false reality. Okay, we are living in some kind of a false reality on internet. Then there is Photoshop, where you can take one person's face, you go and put it on another person's body, you can morph things. That is also happening, where one person's face will get morphed onto somebody else's body. And it almost looks real. It almost looks like that's genuine, while it might not even be so. And then you have Photoshop, where you can change your face. You have filters where you can make yourself look beautiful, or you can make yourself slim. You can do different things to a photograph. So those things are also there. And all of this is to make yourself presentable to people. It is as if you make yourself presentable and you make yourself beautiful, then more people will like you. You get more shares and more likes, and you suddenly feel very popular. You suddenly are looking for, the word is validation. So automatically, psychologically, we start looking for validation through our internet presence. Our mind starts thinking that the more likes and comments we get, more popular we are, and we feel very happy. Suddenly our happiness becomes dependent on what other people think about us, not only in reality, but also in the internet. So suddenly we have handed over our validation to external people, to our social media, to other people who starts validating us, and then we feel happy, a false sense of security and reality. Then you have emojis. More happy, love, hugs come, you feel, oh yeah, I am very popular. So those are the cons. Now, bringing people closer. Like I said, accessibility. The good thing about internet and social media is people who are living far away, they're brought closer to each other geographically. If they are far, through the internet presence, your families are bringing closer to each other. They're bringing each other closer. You are able to connect. Suppose you are in a foreign country, you can connect your parents through Facebook, Skype, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever it be. You are able to communicate more easily than maybe 50 years back what you could do, or maybe even 30 years back what you could do. So that way people are brought closer from all parts of the world. You could be in Antarctica and you could share an image with someone who is sitting in India. Aesthetics. So when we talk about aesthetics, the beauty, we don't need to see, smell, or listen. This can be a pro and a con. The pros and cons. The pros are, you're sitting in front of a laptop or a phone. You don't need to see the other person, smell the other person, or even listen to the other person. Your presence is just there as another body who is using a gizmo or a media through which you can communicate. So that sense of smell, touch, having interaction, personal interaction is lost. And over a period of time, we may get so addicted to communicating online that we forget how to communicate in person. We may be very, very jocular, we may be very, very talkative when we are online, but maybe in real life, we may not be any of that. So we are presenting a false persona outside, and many people may believe that persona or personality we are presenting through our internet presence. So our popularity might end up depending on what kind of personality you are presenting to the world. You may put your best photograph, you may filter it, you may Photoshop it, you may make yourself look very beautiful, and you will put it out there and you will feel validated, you will feel good. But in reality, who we are, nobody is able to see. In reality, who we are, nobody will be able to know. So that kind of personal interaction sometimes may get lost when we have more of internet presence and less of in-person presence. And a sense of liberty, a sense of freedom, independence, that comes with an internet presence where you're just sitting behind an electronic instrument like a laptop, like a phone, and you give vent to yourself, put out your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your life history, your story out there for people to read. While in reality, you probably have never done that. You feel safe sitting behind something. You're able to express yourself. And some people take it to another level of expression where they get highly sexualized in their expression, while in real life, they may not be any of that. So these are all the pros and cons that may happen when you are on the internet. So what it comes down to is a digital footprint that you are leaving. Now, what do you mean by a digital footprint? Does anyone know this? Can someone unmute and tell me? Anyone? Do you know what a digital footprint means?
It includes all the activities which we do on digitally and which can be traced or anyone can get to us by using our activities, information which we are leaving on cyber.
Exactly. So now when we talk about footprint, what does it mean? Now, when you walk on the sand, when you're walking, you leave footprints behind. But those footprints, when another wave from the sea comes, it just gets washed out. It gets wiped out. Or if you're walking somewhere and you leave a footprint, maybe after a rain comes, that footprint will get wiped out. Or many people are walking, that footprint will get wiped out. Yours cannot be identified in reality. But when you're online, when you're accessing a digital instrument, your footprint that you live on that instrument is going to stay there forever. A digital footprint that you will leave will never erase completely. So what do you mean by digital footprint? It refers to one's unique set of traceable digital activities, actions, contributions, communications on the internet. It can be passive or active. So any activity that you're doing, let's say you're Googling for something, you're doing a Google search. Let's say you're doing a Google search for going to some tourist spot, vacation spot. That information is tracked, it is saved, it is distributed, goes worldwide without even you knowing it. There are tracking algorithms which are there in the computers and in your phone, which will collect all this information and it will send to people so that they can advertise to you directly or indirectly because they know what you're looking for. So you may be in the false security thinking, oh, I'm doing a Google search. Nobody will know what I'm searching. But trust me, every Google search you do, everything you do online, be it on the phone or on your computer, is traceable. It will not get wiped out. Any messages you send, even if there is encryption, any messages you send, any postings you make, any comments you make will stay on the computer, on your phone forever. maybe in the hard drive. Maybe there is end-to-end encryption when you're talking about WhatsApp. But if the forensic science lab, if they take your phone, they can hack into it. They will be able to retrieve any kind of information from your phone. And that is how when any crime happens, when police find a phone, they will take the phone, they will send it to forensic science lab, they will extract the information even if they don't have a password, or even if the person has deleted everything which is on the phone. FSL can extract that information from your hard drive, from your computers. So everything can be accessed. So basically, when every time you're on the internet, you're doing a search, you're doing anything, all of that can be traced. You are leaving a footprint on the internet, which will stay forever. So what happens is, can it affect you? Can digital footprints affect you? Yes, it can. So there can be positive aspects to it, and there can be negative aspects to this. So how can it affect you? Digital footprints can impact you in both positive and negative ways of depending on what your internet activity shows. All right. So you could be searching for something with your friends, or you could be doing something online, and then you may even delete the message. You may even delete what you posted on Facebook, but there is a way of retrieving it if somebody wants to. So it will leave both a positive and a negative impact. Sometimes accidentally, you may not have been thinking properly. You would have left a very nasty comment on somebody's posting on Facebook, or you might have left a WhatsApp message when you were very angry about something, and then you try to delete it, but those messages can be retrieved. Okay, so we always have to be careful about what we post out there. Now, digital footprint, what is the negative effect? So the positive effect is, yes, sometimes it makes you happy. You're looking for things, you're playing games online, you're connecting with friends. All of those things will have a positive impact because you feel good when you're communicating with your relatives, your siblings, your family, and you're communicating with your friends. It makes you happy. You have groups. When you're communicating, it makes you happy. So that is a positive effect. Okay. And you feel connected. You feel closer to people. All of that is a positive. Now, what is the negative aspect? The digital footprint that you're leaving, the negative aspect is if you are or were cyberbullying someone and you were applying for a job, you may be turned down because you don't work well with people, or colleges may reject you if you have negative internet activity. Now, this is true actually. A lot of it is happening in the US already, where a company, when you apply for a job in any company, they will access your internet presence. They will access your Facebook account. They will ask permission to access all your social media accounts. And then they will go in there and they will see what kind of postings you have or pictures you have put. And basing on it, they may even reject your application for the job or for admission to a university. And this has had detrimental effects on students who have applied for universities or who have applied for jobs. At some point, let's say if some person put out a racist comment out there on Facebook, or put out a comment saying, I'm going to kill 5 people today, and he must have said it jokingly. Or he might have made a racist comment jokingly without realizing the consequences. And he may have even deleted it. But if the company or the university you're applying to somehow gets access to it, your job application, your university application will get rejected immediately. And let's say you post a picture like 5 of your friends got together, you're completely drunk, you're drinking, and you may be in different stages of undress or whatever it is, and you go and put that picture on Facebook or anywhere else, Instagram. That picture might get sent to multiple people. It might spread everywhere. There is a possibility that the company or university of whom you're applying to will have access to it, and they may reject your application. So that is why we always tell people, be very careful what you post online. Be very careful what you post even in groups, chat groups, WhatsApp groups, anywhere else, wherever you have access. Be extremely careful, even if you jokingly, because somebody may forward it to somebody, and that somebody will forward it to somebody else, and it might end up in a case, or it might end up in you having a bad name, which may again reflect on your job application or your university application. And this has happened actually. You might have heard about a case which happened in Delhi. This was, I think, a couple of years back. Some boys got together and they started a group. It was supposed to be a secret group. And what they used to do is they used to download pictures of girls who were actually even their friends. These girls whose pictures they downloaded were their friends. So they used to download pictures from Facebook, from Instagram, wherever, or if the girls shared it with the boys because they were their friends, they would circulate it within this group and they would pass really bad comments to the extent saying things like, I want to sexually assault this girl. And they would describe her body parts, they would make fun of her. But one of the person who was there in this group came out, who was a whistleblower, and informed somebody, and that somebody informed somebody, and the police came to know about it. And they went into hacked into this group, and they found very bad postings to the extent that the boys were saying, I will rape all these girls. So what I'm saying is, we have to be careful where we post our pictures, with whom we are sharing our pictures, and what kind of pictures we are sharing, because what you share might spread everywhere. People can just forward pictures and information what you share. You may think you're sharing it with only one person, but that one person may share it with 10 other people, and that 10 other people may share it with 50 others. Before you know it, the internet has your picture going all over it. And this could be a very close friend of yours. You never know. You never know when, what, who will share things. So be extremely careful what you post online, what you post on your Facebook, and what you post on Instagram, even if it is with your friends. Think before you post any of it. All right, because it may reflect on your future job as well as university positions. Digital footprint, the positive effects. So if you post something on the internet that will reflect on you well, like your artwork or a paper you wrote, your digital footprint will show the positive side of you. So you can share good things. You can share things about, your painting that you did, a dance class you went to, a song that you sang, your family time where you're having a good time, nature pictures. Those are all good things. Those are all positive, which is reflecting a positive side of you. That is a positive digital footprint you're leaving. When you leave those kind of footprints, those are all right. It's okay. So even people who read it, who share it, those are all positive things about you. As much as possible, avoid posting negative aspects like talking about extreme politics, bias, jingoism. Those kind of things can be traced to you. Hatred, racism, those kind of things can always get traced back to you, and it might reflect badly on you. And you may want to be extremely cautious and think twice before you post a picture of yourself in a bikini. Trust me, there are people who do that. There are a lot of girls who share their bikini pictures. Yes, maybe among your friends, but you don't know with whom your friends are going to share it. And you have no idea where that photograph will end up. It may end up in a porn site. You must have heard of pornography, like blue films, adult
Yes,
website,
ma'am.
isn't it? You have heard of it?
Yes, ma'am, and I
Yeah.
read about it also. But
Correct.
I forgot what it is.
Yeah. So pornography is basically adult films, blue films, X-rated films, which has extreme sexuality in it. All right. So that kind of websites are there. It's called a dark web. Online has a dark web. So if you post some photographs of yours, like in a bikini or something, that might end up in a pornography site. And who knows? Somebody who doesn't like you might take even your phone number along with the photograph, post it on a website for adults. And you might start getting comments. Somebody might start circulating those pictures. So you have to be extremely careful what you're posting out there. We had an incident in a school. This happened a year back, where in a school, a girl, she shared some very close personal pictures with her boyfriend. Okay, this was a 10th grader or 11th grader, I don't remember exactly, with her boyfriend. And this friend of hers, the boy, he shared it with his friends. And those friends went and shared it with their friends. And before this girl knew it, the entire high school boys had the picture, her personal picture circulating in the 11th grade. She was extremely upset. She was depressed. She complained to her parents. The parents came to school, and then we had to call the boy. And the boy said, "No, I didn't know what happened. I had shared it only with one boy, my closest friend." And that boy said, "Oh, I shared it with my closest friend." So this is how it circulates. And then we had to call a circle time. We had a circle time with the parents, with the friends, all of them. It's called like a restorative circle. We talked about it, and they all apologized to each other. And somehow the case kind of dissipated. But these are things that can happen. So what you post on the internet or online, you have no control over it. It can go anywhere. Anybody can download it. Anybody can download your pictures. Anybody can download and share your numbers, your phone number, and you may get numbers, calls, messages, strange messages from strangers who want to be your friends. A lot of things can happen. I don't want to scare you all. I'm not trying to say that internet is a bad place. I'm not trying to say that social media is a bad place, but you just need to know what is the dark side of it so that you're careful, so that you're aware of what goes on, so that you don't have a false sense of security and false reality. That is what I'm trying to highlight. So be proactive. Now, how can you be proactive? By managing your privacy settings. So if you're on Facebook, try to always keep your settings on private. Don't make it public, because public means any stranger can access your post, Facebook post. Any strangers can access your photographs, postings. All private personal information will get accessed by outsiders. So always try to keep your privacy settings to private. And you can even keep your profile private so that nobody else other than your friends have access to your postings. So these are all things you should remember when you're on Facebook and Instagram and places like that. Make sure it is all privacy settings are there and you're not sharing with the public, right? So that becomes very, very important. So you are in control. You be in control of your social media presence. You be in control of your digital footprint. You decide who sees what. Even when you put a private personal photograph on Facebook, you can change the settings and you can share the picture only with your family. There are settings in there. There are options. Go into your account and see what are the privacy settings that you need to enable. Go into your account and see what are the different kind of security options you have for your account. And take precautions to enable those settings so that tomorrow you're not a victim or a target of some kind of social media crime, social media blackmail, social media negative presence. So you be in charge of and decide who should see what, how should I present myself, and be aware of what may happen when things are posted. So be proactive about it. Always, any group you join, any social media platform you join, first and foremost, check the security options, enable all the security options, privacy settings, only then start posting anything. Because we have had cases. We deal with children who go with sexual, who are subjected to sexual abuse up to 18-year-old. We have had cases where girls online have been, blackmailed. There are people who have tried to become friends online, try to become friends on Facebook, try to become friends on Instagram, total strangers. And then there is a false sense of security. Now, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, they don't know who is a stranger, who is a friend. They will easily believe people. They trust people easily. So it could be somebody who is really a pedophile. Does anyone know what a pedophile is? Have you heard of pedophile?
No, ma'am.
You haven't heard of pedophile, correct? So pedophile are those people who will lurk around in the dark web, on your internet, on social media. They are after children. They are after innocent children. They are people who are interested in watching pornography, adult films, not adult films, watching children in sexual positions, sexually compromised settings. They are called pedophiles. They engage only with children. They have sex only with children. Now, these people are called pedophiles, and they will be out there looking to see who is a vulnerable person with whom I can befriend. And that person will come and make a friend request on Instagram or Facebook. They will gather all your personal information. They will circulate it. They get paid. It's called the dark web. They will steal pictures. They get paid for it. So these are pedophiles, and there are people who will blackmail you. So we had an instance like this where a 14-year-old girl, nowadays everyone has a smartphone, everyone is on WhatsApp because classes are conducted online. So the phone numbers are shared. Everyone's phone number is shared on WhatsApp in the groups. So everybody has access to each other's phone numbers and profiles on WhatsApp. So somebody accessed this girl. She had an account in WhatsApp and they started sending a message like, hi, hello. That person even shared his photograph with that girl. Okay, then she is like 13-year-old or something. And the photograph he shared was also of a very handsome looking boy who seemed very well educated. He's standing with a car and all that nice fancy car. This girl believed him. That photograph was not even real. The person who was sending her the message stole the photograph of somebody else, sent it to this girl saying, this is who I am. And the girl was so impressed looking at the boy and the car and the house and all that. She started talking to this boy, exchanging messages. And this boy kept talking to her. Then slowly he started getting very personal with her, asked her where she lives. Give me your phone number, give me your house address. What is your name? What is your all personal information he started collecting. Then finally he asked this girl one day to come and meet him in a mall or somewhere. This girl has never seen him before. He said, you come, I know who you are, I will recognize you. And this girl went. She didn't tell her parents. She didn't tell anyone. She went to the mall to meet this person. That person kidnapped her and things happened. So these are the downsides of this kind of interactions with strangers, total strangers who will collect your information, who may misuse or abuse you. And I'm not saying it happens only to girls. This happens to boys also. And the person who is sending you a friend request on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, WhatsApp, it might be a girl. They may say, I'm a girl. They may share a photograph with you, but it might not even be a girl. It could be a guy or it could be an old man who has taken somebody's picture and is pretending to be somebody else. We have a lot of these cases happening. And then what happens is sometimes they will start sending personal messages. They started asking this girl for a naked pictures. Said, oh, why don't you take a naked picture of you and share it with me, please? I'm after all your friend. Don't you trust me? I love you so much. I will marry you. All that he said. This girl believed him. She took a picture and she sent to him. And then guess what happened? That guy started blackmailing her. He said, oh, you sent me this picture. Now you give me 1 lakh rupee. Otherwise, your photograph, I'm going to share it on YouTube. I will share it with all your friends, your family, your father and mother. They will also come to know. And this girl started stealing money from the house just to keep him quiet. And then it escalated. Finally, somehow somebody came to know about it. The guy was arrested. The police were able to trace it. So this is why it becomes so important who you befriend online without doing the proper privacy settings, without making a profile check. Be very careful who you are adding to your friends list and your group list. Again, I'm telling you all this not to scare you, what is there, what is bad, but just so that you're aware, because I deal with cases like this. We have had several police cases, and these cases actually go to cybercrime department. I will talk to you about it in a bit. And keep yourself nice. Now, the reason we say nice is not to be like a really nice person, in the sense that be careful what you're putting out there. If you wouldn't say something to your mom, your sibling, or your future anyone, don't say it online. Okay, if you don't use certain words in your house, why do you want to use it on the internet? Okay, so be very proactive on how you present yourself, what kind of digital footprint you are leaving about yourself online. Now the internet is forever. If you think you'll be embarrassed now or in the future, don't do something that will embarrass you. Choose what you show to the world. If you make yourself look good to go out, make yourself look good to the world as well. Okay. So I'm sorry, I lost that. Choose what you show the world. If you make yourself look good to go out, make yourself look good on the web too. So a lot of people do that. They put really nice photographs and all that. And then there is a false sense. And the reality, you are who you are. And be proud of who you are. You don't have to use filters and Photoshop and look pretty just to be online and get accepted and have the validation from people. You be who you are. And if somebody doesn't like you, that is their problem, isn't it? You don't want friends like that. You want friends and people to accept you as you are. Be it looks, be it in your character, be it in your behavior, be it the person who you are. You want to be safe in a space where people accept you as you are, right? Because a lot of people are so much into taking selfies. You all know that. Everyone loves taking selfies, posting the best picture of themselves there. Why is it so important? Why is it we need to look pretty and good when we are online all the time? We don't have to. We are who we are. If someone has a problem accepting us the way we are, that is their problem, not ours. So that kind of a comfort we should have with our own body, with our own self, our own face. Be comfortable in our own skin, all right? And that will add to your self-worth. So that is what is more important than taking a selfie, appearing pretty, and then trying to get it validated by others to add to our self-worth. We should be proud of who we are, no matter what, because after all, we are who we are, right? So that becomes very important. Now, is the internet always a safe space? Like I already explained and described, not always. It has a lot of good things happening. Yes, there's a lot of good for internet. I'm not saying you should not be on internet, you should not be online. I'm not saying that. You just be careful and just understand what is out there. So let's see. For example, this is a news that came 2 days back in Times of India. What is it saying? Karnataka records the highest cybercrime rate in India. According to the latest National Crime Records Bureau, it's called the NCRB data. Anybody can access it on Google. If you Google NCRB, you'll get the data. The cybercrime rate was highest in Karnataka with 16.2%. Then it was followed by Telangana, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra. Maximum number of cybercrimes, 11,000 that happened. Karnataka had 10,000 cases of cybercrime. So constantly this is happening right now in all the states. Overall, India recorded 50,000 cases of cybercrime in 2020 and 11.8% surge in such offenses over the previous years. Okay, so then there are fake news, fake social media news, all of that also is collected. Okay, and along with that, you also have 4,000 cases of online banking fraud. You must be very familiar with that. Banking fraud, 1,000 cases of OTP frauds, 1,194 credit card, debit card fraud, 2,160 cases related to ATM were reported. These are all from the NCRB data. And there is cyber stalking. So 972 cases related to cyber stalking or bullying of women and children. Can anyone tell me what cyber stalking is? Does anyone know?
Getting
Collecting the cyber data and storing, if I'm not wrong, ma'am.
Okay, that is correct. Stalking. What do you mean by stalking?
Ma'am, taking or collecting information of someone without their knowledge and without their consent.
Okay, that is following someone. Yes, but what is stalking? Yes, please, go ahead.
Stalking means unknowingly accessing their information and getting their information and abusing it, or putting into some other unknown source for their own requirements.
Yeah, see, that is misuse, misusing somebody's cyber information. So stalking means stalking not only cyber, outside also in real world. Stalking means when someone is following you. with the intention of harming you or bullying you or blackmailing you. That is called stalking. So cyber stalking, now let's say you're going on the road, you're walking alone at 6 o'clock in the evening, you're walking from your college back home. Somebody is following you. And that somebody, that person is following you every day. And every day that person is keeping an eye on you. What time you're coming out of college? Where are you going? Where is your house? And sometimes you're not even aware that this person is following you, but this person is following you. And he will also starts following you online, on Facebook, on Instagram. And he's keeping an eye on you all the time. What are your activities? What is your profile on Facebook? That is called stalking. When you're constantly following someone with the intention of, which is not safe, unsafely following someone in real life. Now, cyber stalking is when they do it online, constantly they're following you. Okay, that is cyber stalking. All right. So cyber stalking also happens. And bullying happens. A lot of bullying happens online. Can someone tell me what bullying is? Does anyone know what bullying means?
Trying to make fun of someone by giving them so much of work or something like that, or making fun of them.
Making fun of them. Okay. Anybody
Putting
else?
down
I'm
somebody.
dragging someone.
Dragging someone, exactly. Because now the word bullying, previously we used to use the word ragging. Does ragging happen in colleges?
Yes, ma'am.
Even
Yes, ma'am.
now?
In some
It
college.
used to.
No, ma'am. Not now, ma'am. It
Not
used
now,
to.
correct? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Previously, when we were all going to college and university, there used to be a lot of ragging going on. Nowadays, it's not as common. Previously, even boys, girls, especially boys used to be ragged very badly. Bullying used to happen to the extent that some of them used to commit suicide also after ragging and bullying. These days, it's all come down because we have an anti-ragging policy in educational institution. So it's called a zero tolerance policy for bullying, zero tolerance policy for ragging in colleges and schools, because of which it's come down. But that is also quite common. So even online, what you see is, this is very common in US even now. In the US, what happens is they all have these groups, and where somebody body shames someone, somebody writes something bad about someone, and that gets shared by others. So let's say there is a group of 10th grade students, they have a Facebook group or they have a WhatsApp group. And then somebody will put a bad message about one girl or a boy and say, oh, you know, that girl, she is a floozy. She has a bad character. And then somebody starts laughing and then they all start calling her names. That is called cyber ragging, cyber bullying. That is also happening. And that can really emotionally affect. Can it affect? Do you think it will affect someone who's going through it?
Yes, ma'am.
It will definitely, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
What will happen to that person who's going through it?
They may go to depression or
Yes.
may found like mental harassment.
Yes, absolutely.
Lose their self-confidence.
They lose their self-confidence, they lose their
They go through a
self-esteem.
mental trauma.
They go through mental trauma, correct? So a lot of it can happen. A lot of things can happen where that person who is going through bullying, ragging, feels very lost, feels very left out, feels targeted, feels unloved, and feels like a victim, to the extent where that person completely loses self-esteem, self-worth, goes into depression, and they may even die by suicide. To that extent, we have had cases even in India. It's common in the US, but here also we have had such cases happening, isn't it? We might have read about it in the newspaper. So that kind of things can happen online as well. And we should always watch out and make sure that that doesn't happen in our groups, whichever group that you are in. If you find somebody is bullying someone, don't join in the bullying. Don't join and make fun of them. Instead, you call it out. Call it out and say, sorry, this is not acceptable. I don't like what this person is talking about the other person. I'm going to exit the group, or I'm going to report it to the college or school. Because silence is also being participant to a crime, isn't it? If you're silent, won't you be a participant of the crime?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes or
ma'am.
no? Yes, definitely yes. If you know something bad is happening to somebody and you keep very quiet about it, you are indirectly encouraging it instead of helping that person, helping the victim. So that is where we also have to be a support group for people who are going through bullying. Show them our support, be there with them, help them out, and stop what is happening to them. And internet harassment can happen. Like I said, abusive, hurtful text, posts, images, or videos. Like again, I can give you example. Okay, somebody all got together in a party. Okay, somebody drank and somebody took a picture, and without this person knowing, that friend of that girl went and posted a picture of that party on Facebook. So everybody came to know about it, even her parents. But that, and her permission was not taken. So it is a hurtful text. It can do damage to the reputation of a person. And it can also be abusive. And deliberate exclusion or gossiping about someone, deliberately leaving someone out of groups, not being their friend. These are all kind of harassment. Faking an account or hacking an account. So these days you have a lot of people who are trolls, isn't it? Do you find the trolling happening internet? TROLL. Are you familiar with it? Yeah. What is it?
Yes,
What
ma'am.
is it? Can anyone tell me what it is?
Ma'am, if someone posts the comments, like
Yeah.
it may be good or bad, they will one will forward to another and another will forward to another. That becomes a trolling, ma'am.
That becomes trolling, and sometimes they use fake names. They don't
Yes.
use the real names, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And they put nasty comments. Sometimes they'll just be doing it for the fun of it. They don't care. They will go and put nasty comments on somebody's posting just to have fun. So those are called trolling. A lot of people go through trolling, and definitely these kind of things happen when your postings are public. If it is private, nobody can come and do it. But if it is public, there is a chance that trolling can happen, and then you can block that person on your phone, on the internet, all of the place. You can block people who troll. You can block people who you don't like. You can block phone numbers that are harassing you or giving you problems. There is a block option on your phone. If you go and see on your phone call list, you can see there is an option which says block this caller. So you can hit the block button, and then that particular phone call will be blocked. Even on WhatsApp, you can block people. Instagram, blocking can be done even on Facebook or any other social media. So if somebody is bothering you, you can block the person and you can report it. I will talk about whom you can report it later. Then there is also impersonation, where fake accounts. Now there are so many Amitabh Bachchan accounts. Who the real Amitabh Bachchan is sometimes gets lost. So now they have given a blue tick mark which says, okay, this is the real Amitabh Bachchan, this is his account. But there will be so many hundreds of Amitabh Bachchan accounts happening online. Those are all fake accounts. Okay, so that can happen even in your name. Somebody will steal your photograph and post a fake account in your name. These things also can happen. Sexting. So what does sexting mean? Meaning people who engage in sexual conversations online, that is called sexting. When you message somebody in a sexual language, that is called sexting. Or sending sexualized images or pictures, that's called sexting. Flaming. Flaming, when you try to make someone angry, you post hurtful comments and you're flaming them. And pressure to engage in sexual conversation. This happens when you befriend strangers. They may try to engage you in sexual conversation and even send you sexual images. They may send you pornography. If at any point of time your phone receives sexualized images, pornography, not only your phone or any of your accounts, please report it immediately. You can report it and then you can block the sender. Report it to Facebook. There is a report option. You can report it. You can tell what kind of issue is there. Even on the phone, if you find any of such thing, you can report it to cybercrime immediately. Take a picture, take a screenshot. Before you delete it, take a screenshot so that you can share it to the police or the cybercrime. Sometimes they may need proof to see. So you take a screenshot, then you can delete and block the person. Even if it is Facebook, anywhere, take a screenshot. And if it is call records, suppose somebody is calling you and harassing you and blackmailing you, you can record the calls. And you can record the calls and you can submit it to cybercrime, or you can submit it to police. So they have proof. All right. Next, why do people bully? Why do you think people bully? Why do people rag? It could be different reasons, correct? It could be they're angry with other people. They had a bad childhood. They themselves got bullied or ragged, so they do it for others. It could be jealousy. Maybe they don't like you, so they're jealous, so they want to bring harm to you. Or it could be peer pressure. What do you mean by peer pressure? Anybody?
They just simply follow their friends without
Correct.
thinking that whether they are doing wrong or right.
That's correct.
Mom, the pressure from our peer groups,
Yes.
like do this.
Yes.
It will be fun, like
Yes.
that.
Yes. It's called daring also, isn't it? Some of it is called daring. So somebody will dare you to do something. They'll say, I dare you. Can you do this? And then that person will say, of course I can do it. So peer pressure will be there among friends, among just to fit in. Sometimes just to fit into a group, people may do something out of pressure. See, that's how sometimes when you have alcoholism, drug abuse, what happens is a bunch of friends are together. And there is one boy who's saying, no, I don't smoke, I don't drink. And then everyone else makes fun of him and say, oh, this boy, he doesn't drink, he's like a sadhu, he's Gandhi, they'll call him all names. Oh, and they make fun of him. They'll say, come on, yeah, you can have one peg. And then just to make his friends accept him or make him feel good, he will have one peg, he'll have one drug. Okay. He will also start taking drugs. And then before you know it, they get habituated to it. They will get addicted to it. So some of this start as peer pressure. It can be from your own friends. Okay, because you want to fit into the group, you want to sound cool, you want to look cool because everyone else is doing it, so I will also do it. That kind of a pressure, peer pressure usually comes in to impress others. Just like I said, if somebody is smoking and drinking, somebody else wants to fit in, and to impress others, they will also start doing it. So that's how some of these habits get established. Poor self-esteem, poor confidence, need to get what one wants, entitlement, being bullied themselves. Some of them do it for fun as well. So changes in the global views on cyberbullying, if you just look at this picture from 2011 to 2018, you will find that India has the highest number of cyberbullying out of any other country. It is red. And why is this happening? Because we don't have the awareness in society. Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody has internet connection, social media, but they don't know, they don't have the awareness about their privacy settings or something else. Okay, so they get targeted. So many people become targets of fraud, cyber fraud, because they don't know privacy settings. They will easily get conned. They will easily get cheated. Give me 1 second. I'll be back. 1 second. Sorry about that. I had some urgent phone call. Yeah. So India is one of the top countries which has cyber crimes. So tips to guard against cyber abuse. So you avoid one-sided webcam conversations. All right. Somebody's mic is on. Okay. So what are the tips? How can you safeguard yourself against cyber abuse? So a lot of classes are going on online. Yes, I understand. That is also there. But also when you are in conversation with other people or strangers or someone, you avoid one-sided webcam conversations. Ask the other person also to turn on the camera if it is required. Otherwise, don't do just, if that person asks you to turn on the camera, but he doesn't or she doesn't, just make sure that you're safe. So avoid one-sided webcam conversation. Understand the features of privacy settings, how to protect yourself in social media. Do not share password or save them where they can be found. A lot of people will write the password in a book or save it somewhere on the phone and other people can access it. Don't do that, all right? Don't share anything that might leave you vulnerable with a particular set of people. Be careful with what you share so that you are not the one who is going to get into problems. Google yourself. The best way to see what kind of information is there about you online, put your name on Google search, see what comes up. Sometimes your photographs may come up. Then you know what you should share or shouldn't share. And if you find some inappropriate picture coming up, delete it or report it to cybercrime. Monitor linked accounts. If you have accounts which are linked to your phone, always monitor them because we all have bank accounts on our phone. We all are connected. Our bank account is connected to Paytm, PhonePe, Google Pay, everywhere we are connected. So be very careful with whom you're sharing your PIN, your OTP. Make doubly sure that the person who is calling you and giving you OTP or asking for your OTP is genuine. A lot of cyber fraud is happening because people don't know whether it's genuine or it is fake. Somebody from the bank will call you and they'll say, oh, madam, aapke bank ka account mein kuch problem hai. Oh, you have some problem in your bank. We will correct it for you. Please give me your password, your PIN number, your account number. And innocent people who don't know all this, they will just give it. They will believe it. They will give it. And immediately they will find 5 lakh rupees would have disappeared from their account. Or 50,000 would have disappeared. And this happened even to police. There was one police person in a very high position who lost lakhs of rupees to cyber fraud. So imagine it can happen to anybody. So be very careful when you receive your OTPs and be very careful on platform. Now, a lot of people are ordering things online, correct? Shopping is done online. And there you will have to give your bank account number. You'll get an OTP. Be careful and see that these online shopping places are genuine. There could be fake ones who are just collecting your information. Before you know it, you'll be losing money from your bank. Okay. So these are things that we need to constantly keep at the back of our mind. Don't take any of internet, social media, banking, online for granted. Change your passwords often. If you want every month you change your password. Keep it a complicated password which only you can remember. But if you want, you can save it somewhere, but don't share it. Change your passwords often for all your social media accounts so that nobody hacks into it and steals your personal information. And if anything inappropriate, uncomfortable happens online, report it. Don't get scared. Don't be scared if someone sends you pornography or someone circulates your photograph. It is not your fault. The fault is the person who does it. So why should you be scared? Immediately report it to cybercrime. I will give you, there is an online website for cybercrime. You go there, you fill in the details, they will take care of it. Report it to police, report it to your parents, report it to your friends. You don't have to feel ashamed and hide it and get blackmailed. There is no need for any of that. The person who is doing it should be the one who should feel ashamed and he should be the one facing punishment, not you. Right? So always remember, if you find anything inappropriate, someone is blackmailing you, please share it. It is a crime, cybercrime. It can be reported. You can get justice. Block the harasser. So in 2015, HRD, Human Resources Ministry, directed the CBSE schools to form anti-ragging committees at school level to give severe punishments to students indulging in bullying. And notice boards also, not only in schools, but in colleges also, notice board should have a zero tolerance policy for ragging. It should be very clearly mentioned. No sexual harassment will be tolerated. No ragging or bullying will be tolerated. Our institution will have zero tolerance policy. This has to be shown on the notice boards. Along with that, you have something called POCSO, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences. Now, this applies to children who are 18-year-old and below. If any kind of sexual offences, including sexual harassment, cybercrime, serious case of sexual assault happen, there is a law called POCSO. And under this, any child who is sexually harassed can report it. There is severe punishment. And even sexual harassment can be even through electronic, digital means, stalking, or in real life. Any of this happens, it can be reported. So why positive printing? Why is it important to have a positive footprint? Colleges and employees who regularly check social media on new applicants. So if you're applying for a job later on, after you finish your degree or go somewhere, it's a possibility that your employee will do a Google search on you. They will try to access your social media. They will even ask you, can we access your social media? They may look at it and they may either reject your application basing on what kind of things that you're posting. Let's say you're a highly jingoist person, in the sense that you're talking bad about your own country, you're talking bad about religion in an extreme way, or talking bad about some colleague in a very sexist way. Those are all like red flags. Those are all red flags for employers. They will immediately put your application at the bottom. So we have to be careful what we post out there. 70% of recruiters all over the world constantly reject candidates on basis of social media posting. So recruiters also, headhunters, job recruiters will be rejecting candidates based on their social media posts. And in, can somebody mute it, please? Somebody's is open. Can you mute your? Okay, thank you. In extreme cases, social media content can be used as evidence by court. Suppose a cyber crime happens, social media post can also be used as evidence. I think somebody's mic is on. Can you please turn it off? Thank you. Okay. So your digital footprint is your new resume. So what does this mean? Let me see. Can you mute yours, please? I am not sure who the person is. Akanksha, I think. Akanksha, can you please mute? Okay. Akanksha, can you please mute? All right. So this. Okay. I think that person needs to be muted. Whoever is doing this, can you please mute that person?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. All right. So this is the national crime. If you can access this, please check the history of Home Affairs, what you can see. It clearly says women and child related crimes. I think you'll need to mute this person. I'm sorry, I'm not able to do it.
Akanksha, can you hear us? Akanksha B. 1 second, ma'am. I've told the host to go.
Please mute that person. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So this is the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal. Filing a complaint on national cybercrime. So all of you can get on it, and if you'll see, it clearly says this is an initiative of Government of India to facilitate victims, complainants to report cybercrime complaints online. This portal caters to complaints pertaining to cybercrimes only with special focus on cybercrimes against women and children. Complaints reported on this portal are dealt by law enforcement agencies, police, based on the information available in the complaint. It is imperative to provide correct and accurate details while filing a complaint for prompt action. Please contact local police in case of emergency or for reporting crimes other than cyber crimes. National helpline number is 100. National Women helpline number is 181. And in Karnataka, you do 112, 112. There are even women police. There's Mahila Sahayavani. They will connect you. You can file a complaint. So you can go online and file a complaint, any kind of cyber crime that you're facing. Okay. Now from Enfold, we have 3 apps. Okay. There is Surakshit app, Bal Suraksha app, and Stree Suraksha app, which are on your Android phones. So if you have an Android phone, you go, yes?
Sorry for interrupting, ma'am. Please, can you show the previous slide regarding the website, ma'am?
Yeah, here it is. Okay. So it is National Cybercrime Reporting Portal. You can just do a Google search and you will have one for Karnataka. Okay. So in Karnataka, every state will have their own cybercrime division. In Bangalore, if you have any cases, you do a Google search and say Cybercrime Bangalore, you will get a portal. You can go file your complaint on that. All right. And there's also more information on about cybercrime. What kind of cybercrime can you report? Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. So there's 3 apps what I was talking about. Surakshit app, Bal Suraksha app, Stree Suraksha app. All right. Now these are 3 apps you can download from your Play Store on your phone. And these are all free. And this is there in 11 languages. All languages you get this app. And if you go into these apps, it will show you what are the hotline numbers you can call if you have a problem. Okay, for Stree Suraksha, what is the numbers you can call? What is the law, legal aspects, what are covered in India, and the hotline numbers, whom can you contact, what is sexual harassment, what is cybercrime, all this is explained. So I request all of you to download these apps today on your phone. Surakshit app and Stree Suraksha app. Okay, Bal Suraksha app probably may not apply to you because you may be over 18. Surakshit app and Stree Suraksha app, at least Stree Suraksha app, please download it on your phone from Play Store. Okay, that will give you all the information you need. Now, do you know what appears when you search your name on the internet? So one exercise I will tell you today after you go home is do a Google search on your own name, see what all photographs are there, what all information about you is there. If there is nothing, wonderful. There is not much of digital footprint about you, which is a good thing when you're applying to universities and jobs. You seem to be okay. But if you find something which is not at all connected to you, somebody is using a fake account in your name, something bad has been posted about you, some wrong photographs are in the internet, when you're doing a Google search on your name, don't hesitate to report it and it can be taken off from online. All right. So keep in mind, always use your common sense when you are online and protect yourself. Make sure your security settings are on there. So what are the types of internet harassment that you may face? It could be personal intimidation, impersonation, exclusion, personal humiliation, false reporting. Now, I gave you an example of a girl who shared her personal photograph with her boyfriend, and the boyfriend shared it with 10 other boys. So those are all personal humiliation that is happening, correct? The girl felt very humiliated, embarrassed, but she did not keep quiet. She went and reported to her parents. Parents came to school. They made a big noise about it. They even filed a complaint against this boy. Then we had to call the parents of the boy to school. Then they apologized. All that happened. So it will end up in personal humiliation. Now, some children and some girls may be very strong, very resilient. They may be able to take action. But there may be a lot of girls who are very quiet, silent. They don't have awareness about all this. So they will not do anything. They will keep quiet. And when someone is keeping quiet, what happens to the person who is harassing? That person will think, oh, this girl is not saying anything, I will do more. And they will keep harassing, they'll keep blackmailing. So unless we report it, these people will continue doing. Today they will do it to you, tomorrow they will do it to somebody else. So it has to be reported. Personal intimidation, they will scare you, they will threaten you. Those are the things. Tactics. Impersonation, somebody who is using a fake account, they will impersonate you or copy you and start another account or use your name, your personal details online. Exclusion, they will exclude you from groups, personal humiliation, and false reporting. And there are web-based applications. So whether social media or otherwise, you should know that the following things before using an app. Even when you're downloading apps, always be careful. Don't download every other app that you have. Only what is really useful. What you don't need, get rid of it. Delete it. Remove it. Uninstall apps that you don't use. Because your personal information is constantly getting harnessed by Google, Facebook, all of them, and they will circulate this. It will automatically go to advertisement. They will start tailor making advertisement to suit your kind of interest and what you're Google searching. So delete apps that you're not using. Don't unnecessarily download anything. Before you click any link that you get, sometimes it happens by email, you may get a virus. They will send you a virus through emails, and don't click on anything which you're unfamiliar or for people whom you're not familiar with. Don't click on the email or on the link because the hackers might get into your account. Delete it immediately. Okay. And you might get messages and emails which says, oh, you won 1 crore rupees. There was a lottery ticket and your name came up. You won 10 lakhs. So please give us your bank details. We are going to transfer the money to you today. A lot of people have fallen for this scam. A lot of elderly people, especially our parents, our grandparents, they don't know what a scam is. They will believe it. They'll say, oh, I got 1 lakh. I got free money. They will give all the bank details to this person. Next day, whatever money, little money they had in their account, that also will vanish. So don't fall for scams which say you won 1 lakh, you won 50 lakh, you won a trip, world trip, round trip. This is all means of collecting your personal bank account and personal information. If you see something like that, instantly delete it. Sometimes go through your parents' phone. When you have your parents' phone in your hand, see if somebody has accessed their personal information. And tell your parents, pass this information to your parents, grandparents, tell them if somebody calls you, ask for your bank account and all that, not to give it, all right? And not to send it by email because a lot of fraud is happening now. And elderly people don't know all that. They're all technology challenged people. They're just learning how to use a smartphone. So they may not know. They will believe people, just like children, they will trust people. And they will find their life savings disappear in a minute. Okay, so wherever you find apps, where reporting functions are, how to block someone, how to keep information private, those are the things you first need to check when you're downloading. And as much as possible, avoid taking selfies, naked selfie pictures and posting it. Be very careful. You don't know where your pictures will end up. You may do it for fun, but later on the consequences will be quite sad and sorry. Unnecessarily, you can avoid those issues. So in that picture, what do you think happened there? Unsafe entities, hidden identity, manipulators, sexual predators, cyber stalkers, cyber bullies, online scammers. There are people constantly waiting to prey upon vulnerable people, vulnerable children, vulnerable teenagers. Whoever they find vulnerable, who may be easily manipulated, they will access your account, they will become your friends. So be very careful when you're adding friends to your accounts. Make sure it is someone whom you know. Don't add strangers to your accounts. Never do that. Don't accept friendship requests from strangers. Only from people whom you know. Right? Internet addiction disorder. Now, this is also something that I would like to touch base on. NIMHANS, which is a mental institution, a National Institute of Mental Health, which is there in Bangalore, has reported high numbers of children, teenagers who are addicted to internet, who are addicted to online gaming, who are addicted to just online, being online. That addiction will happen. And how does that addiction happen? Constantly you keep looking at your phone. Okay, did someone send me a message? What do you mean by addiction? Because every minute of your time you're looking at your phone, internet to see who has sent me a message. Did someone SMS me? Did someone like my profile? Did someone send a WhatsApp message? Constantly we are having the phone in our hand, looking at it. That is addiction. First thing when we wake up, we reach for our phone or internet to see who has sent what. Before we sleep, instead of sleeping, we are busy on the social media, looking at other things, other people profile, chatting, doing all that. Those are all means of addiction, internet addiction. So as much as possible, try to detox. It's called detoxing. Every week you try to do a detox. You say, today I'm not going to use my phone only for 2 hours. Make that a habit. Detox. It's called detoxing, electronic detox, social media detox. Sometimes you just need to shut down everything and go away into a forest, go with your family somewhere, picnic, enjoy nature. That's called detoxing. Otherwise, we get too sucked into this whole thing and technology will start controlling our minds. Technology will start ruling our minds and our life. Don't let that happen to you. Detox. Tell that today I'm not at all going into social media. Today I'm not at all going into WhatsApp, Instagram. Today I'm not going to message anyone. Today I'm going to focus on reading a book. I'm going to read a book today. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do some exercise. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to meet people in person, not on the phone. Go meet your parents, go meet your friends in person instead of doing it on the phone. So that will remove the addiction to a certain level. So NIMHANS is facing problems where a lot of people who are addicted have gone and admitted themselves in the NIMHANS hospital for de-addiction. Cyber relationships, gambling, shopping, cyber sex craving, withdrawal symptoms, sexting, abusive calls. Very common, all of this happens. Sometimes people maintain relationships online. They wouldn't have even seen the person, but they will have friendships online. Gambling online, playing games online also can get addictive. Gambling, cyber sex, having cyber sex cravings, withdrawal symptoms when you don't have social media or phone, you feel, oh, something is missing in my life. If your phone gets lost, have you seen how panicked you get? Can I ask you, have you got that feeling?
Yes, ma'am. And
tell.
When I'm now in my granny's place, and when I realized that I had left my earphones at home and come, I was like, it took me some time to actually settle down and rest. It was in the night.
Correct. Probably because you're habituated to listening to music or something on the phone. Yes, and when you don't have that earphone, when you don't have your phone, you feel lost, don't you? Yes, lot of people do that. Anybody else? Anybody else can say, what do they feel when you don't have your phone? Even for 10 minutes, your phone is missing. What will happen to you?
We feel like we've given up something.
Isn't it?
Yes.
It's as if on big body.
Even panic.
Panic, anxiety. It's like, where is my phone? Where is my phone? I left my phone here. Oh my God, I'm missing out. It's called missing out syndrome. That's what it's called psychologically. Constant feeling that I'm missing out. Oh, my friends will miss me. My messages will miss me. Phone calls. I will miss phone calls. I will miss being connected to everybody on social media. I will miss other people's posts. So that it's called missing out syndrome. So that means that technology has taken over our mind. We are not able to stay without a phone even for half an hour. Try this experiment. Do this experiment and see with yourself. Shut your phone and keep it away inside a wardrobe. See for how long you can stay away from your phone. Try it over the weekend. Let me see how many of you can do it. Even if you can do it for half a day, I will say you have been successful. Will you try that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, try it out and see. Then you will know how addicted you are to your phone. Try it on the weekend and see. And also another experiment you can do. Don't get on social media at all for a week. Can you do that? Try that and see. If you can avoid Instagram, avoid Facebook for 1 week, see how addicted you are. Let's see how long you can stay away. Because sometimes even I am on Facebook, yes, I am on Instagram, but I do social media de-addiction. I do social media detox. I do. Sometimes I completely get out of it for a month. I don't get on social media at all because I had enough. Sometimes I just get bored looking at other people's posting. I get bored of saying the same faces on the internet, on social media. I get tired of reading their status update. I'm like, I really don't care what you're posting. So what I'll do, I will just completely detox. I will shut off all my accounts and I will focus on my work. I will focus on going for nature walks. I'll focus on myself. That is important. You have to focus on yourself. Sometimes what happens is we are constantly getting validated by other people online that we forget who we are. We are looking at ourselves through other people's eyes. We forget to look at ourselves and say, okay, this is the person who I am. I like myself. I don't want validation. I am happy the way I am without my phone, without social media. You know, sometimes we need to bring the focus back into ourselves. That is very important. That's called me time. You heard of me time?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. What does me time mean?
Spending some of the time with ourselves.
Exactly.
Interrogating ourselves.
Yes. Introspection. Correct? You want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
go into that introspection mood. You want to be by yourself. You want to think about yourself. You can be selfish about yourself sometimes. You say, I'm going to take care of myself today. I don't want social media. I don't want anyone. I don't want validation. I want to like myself. I want to love myself. I want to be with myself. I love my own company. I don't need company all the time, not especially on social media. Tell yourself that kind of me time is so important. You have to pamper yourself sometimes. Sometimes we get very lost in technology. We get very lost in all the things other people are doing. We forget who we are. We forget what are we doing? What is our purpose in life? Where are we going? What is it I want to do today? How do I want to take care of myself? How can I mentally take care of my own mental health? How can I take care of my physical health? How can I interact with my family better? How can I be there with my family, with my parents, with my sibling, instead of being with friends online? So that is all called me time, and detox is so important for everyone. So look at this picture where someone is trying to look the best by taking a selfie. Selfies have become a habit, an addiction, where you want to look constantly good for others, not even for ourselves. We want to post it and we want others to say we look good, get like 100 likes, then we are validated. Similarly, if you look at this picture, the girl is looking at her phone, but she looks very anxious, doesn't it? Doesn't her face show anxiety?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Maybe she got a troubling message. Maybe she saw something she didn't like. Maybe somebody is blackmailing her. Maybe somebody is bothering her. Maybe her boyfriend broke up with her. Maybe she came to know about the death of someone in the family. So anything it could be. Okay. Chatting. Now, when it comes to chatting, we have different ways of chatting online. Maybe internet, maybe Instagram, SMS, whatever it be. There is SMS, there is webcam, internet phone, chat room, instant messaging, email, voicemail. My goodness, there is so much out there. Sometimes we get so confused with all of this. Then there are chat rooms. And there is a lot of, some people go into these chat rooms and they're like 90% of it is sexual solicitation. We don't want to get into that kind of groups where someone is sexually taking advantage of us. Someone is taking advantage of us. Someone make use of our vulnerabilities. We don't want to get into that situation and then regret later. So prevention is better than cure. And internet, social media is infested with pedophiles, people who are looking to find vulnerable people whom they can target, make them feel uncomfortable. Sexual predators are there. Constantly sexual harassment happens online, not only offline, but also online. There are cases where, when online classes were going on, because everybody's number is shared with everyone, sexual messages were being sent as personal messages. And this could be by a hacker, not even by anyone in your class. It could be someone who has hacked into your account, used a fake account, or imitated someone and then sent you a fake message. If you find something like that, immediately report it to your college, because then you can trace the hacker, you can report it to cybercrime, and they can be arrested. All right. Sexual predators, Center for Grooming, online scam, cyberbullies, pornography. Now, Center for Grooming. What does this mean? It means that people will sometimes groom you to like them, to trust them. Meaning, grooming is a phenomena where somebody who can be even total strangers will constantly interact with you to make you trust them. It comes to a point where you will trust this total stranger and you'll think it's all good. And then later on, you find that this person is abusing you, is taking advantage of you. So that is what grooming means. All right? And a lot of children fall prey to this. A lot of children who are using phones and social media, they don't know. They're all innocent children, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, they don't know about it. They easily believe and trust people. Similarly, elderly people also. Okay, now look at this picture. Can somebody read and tell me what may be happening in this picture? Anybody, unmute and tell me. Don't hesitate, it's okay.
Ma'am, this girl is interacting with an unknown person, and
yeah,
I think her parents wouldn't have found. She wouldn't have told her parents about it.
Okay.
And she's what did I'm not getting the correct this one.
You read what is there. What is written there? What is
your parents never found out? No way. I would be in so much trouble if they knew.
Correct. So it could be that something is happening. This boy may be a total stranger, or it could be a boyfriend. We don't know. Yes. Tell me.
Ma'am, according to me, and maybe I feel that she's she's texting him on a dating app, and for just he might have known that her phone was with her parents for a little while. So that time, after some time, when she gets back to the dating app online, he might have asked, did they go through this message or something like that?
Correct. So that could also be a thing. Correct. Or this boy could be total stranger, or it could be boyfriend. And what she must have either, like you said, been on a dating app, and then the boy is saying your parents never found out, and she's saying, no way, I would have been in so much trouble if they knew. Or it could be she sent him a selfie, or she sent him some semi-nude picture, naked picture or something. So it could be anything. So these kind of things are happening. It's a reality. It has been happening. We had a case recently where a school teacher, because of online classes, the school teacher, he had the number of all the students, online classes going on. He knew the financial situation and the home situation of most of the students, because many teachers will know about this, correct? If the girl is coming from a poor family, having financial problems. So this teacher, what he used to do, he used to target and prey on vulnerable girls who came from a bad financial situation at home, and he would offer money. He would say, oh, I will help you with your education. Don't worry, I will do this for you. I will do that for you, all of that. And then slowly he started grooming this student, getting to know her closer, started getting closer and started telling her things like, I love you. A teacher is telling to the student. Now the student, she comes from a poor family. She believed him. She thought, oh, this teacher likes me so much. And she started trusting him. She started believing him. Okay. And they got into a relationship online. Okay. So these kind of things happen. That is called grooming. It could happen with anybody. It could happen with strangers, or it could happen with people whom you know and whom you may trust. So we have to be careful. Have you received friend requests or messages like the one the girl in the video received? Have any of you here received friend requests from strangers?
Yes, ma'am. Once what happened is I received message from an unknown number saying, I don't remember it. she was a foreigner, and
Yeah.
she messaged me, how do you do something and all, something
Okay.
and all. She messaged me. I
Okay.
immediately showed that to my parents, and I had that contact deleted.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
like surprised. How did she get my number?
Correct.
How did she even? I don't share my number with in many places at all. I only give my mother's or my father's.
Correct. People who can hack, they can get anybody's number. It's very easy to get an Instagram account. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. WhatsApp. I got messages from somebody who told me I won 10 lakh rupees, and I don't even know how they got my number. But on WhatsApp, I got these messages. I blocked them. Before blocking, I told them I'm reporting you to cybercrime. After that, I never heard from them, but I blocked them. Okay, and in fact, I even write down those numbers. I keep it. So in case if I feel like reporting it later, I can report it to police. And then I got a message from some total stranger. And he had put some fancy photograph of he standing in front of a fancy car. And then the message was like, oh, hi, I want to be a friend, not even friend, FRAAAND. I want to be your friend. Can you be my friend? I really like you. And I'm like, who is this person? I don't even know him. Then I went to the profile picture I saw, and immediately I knew it's a fake picture. It's probably even some actor who's standing next to a car. I don't even know. So, and then I sent one line saying, I'm going to report you to cybercrime, and then I blocked this person. I took down the number, I wrote it down, just in case this person tries to call back or thing, I was ready to report him. So these kind of, anybody can hack into your account. I mean, get your number. It is very easy to do that. But if you do get messages like that, block them. And if you continue to get messages which are inappropriate, report it to cybercrime. Police can follow it up and they can do something about it. Okay. So remember these points. Never post or share personal pictures with strangers. Never share your pictures with strangers. Never reveal personal information such as address, phone number, or college name or location with strangers. Use only screen name and don't share password other than with parents. Never agree to meet in person with anyone whom you met online without parent approval and or supervision. Inform a friend or relative or a trusted adult if you get uncomfortable messages or adult links or pornography from anyone. Okay, don't keep it a secret. It's not your fault. Immediately go and report it to your parents or to your friends or someone whom you trust. Immediately inform them and take action. File a complaint with cybercrime if you are blackmailed or you're stalked or you're harassed online by electronic media, whatever it be. You should always remember it's not your fault, so you don't have to feel ashamed or scared. It's the person who is doing it who needs to be scared and who is at fault. And they need to face consequences, not you. So immediately report it. So with that, today, I think I will end my session. And I'm going to stop sharing now. I will take a few questions. We are close to 1 o'clock, so I think I finish exactly on time. Okay, now I am ready to take questions. If you have questions, please ask me. Before I take questions, I just have one more thing I want to share. Like before we started the session, Madam Shailaja had also mentioned how your college has a sexual harassment policy in the college. Every institution, every organization should and must have a sexual harassment policy, zero tolerance policy for sexual harassment. Every institution and organization will have an internal complaint committee which is constituted and that is clearly for sexual harassment. So at any point of time you are feeling sexually harassed or you are feeling sexually abused in college, or you can report it to the IC committee. It's called the IC committee by giving a written complaint. And then the IC committee will take it up and they will follow it up, and it will all be in confidentiality. Nobody else will come to know about it. IC committee, whatever they do, will be in confidentiality, and they will try to find a solution to the issue. Now, not only in your college, let's say some of you are final year students and some of you are going to go on and find employment or jobs. All right. So wherever you go, those institutions also will have an IC committee, also will have an internal complaint committee for sexual harassment. Let's say tomorrow you're joining Infosys, or you're going to join Wipro, or you're going to join some biotech companies, depending on which field you're working in, or you're going to join a government job. Remember this, that every institution has a sexual harassment policy. Every institution will have an IC committee. And when you're working, whichever working environment you're going into, first thing you need to ask the HR department is, do you have an anti-sexual harassment policy? Do you have an IC committee? Make sure you do ask that question. And they are supposed to put out the number and the email ID of people who will take up the cases of sexual harassment in the IC committee. Anything that you face in your job in future, please remember, if you are harassed sexually in your workplace, wherever you go join later on by anybody, it could be a supervisor, it could be a boss, it could be your colleague, it could be the security guard, the driver, any of these people, immediately go to the IC committee who is in your workplace, report it to them. Don't hesitate, don't be scared about it. All right? Thank you. Anybody has any questions? I can take a couple of questions before we finish this session. Yeah?
Ma'am, you had told that if we get scams like you have won a free lottery, we want your bank account, we'll transfer the money. You have told us like we have to delete such kind of messages. Like how do we identify whether they are for a good cause or a bad cause? Because okay, 90% they are definitely trying to like drain our accounts, but there is a 10% chance that they will be good people. So how do we identify that?
Correct. Okay. I have a question for you. Which person will give you 10,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees free just like that? Do you believe there are people who will give you that kind of money?
No, ma'am.
Very unlikely. Even our own family won't give us. Forget strangers. Huh? Even if we have to ask our parents, we have to keep running behind the parents for money. Ask, then they might give you. Correct? Yes. Even friends. Then why should a stranger come and give you 50,000, 1 lakh, just like that free money? Chance illa.
Yes.
Okay. Most of them, 99.9% of them are fake. They're a scam. You will know immediately. Many of them come from South Africa. Those messages will come, you'll find it's coming from South Africa, Australia, God knows, some UK, somewhere from distant countries also. Some of them will come from India. Okay. And instantly block it. Instantly block it. Don't even think twice. Unless you actually applied for a lottery ticket and you applied for a place where you know that you had applied and you're going, there may be some money. I don't think anyone will give you free money like that.
Okay, ma'am.
Be very careful. Yeah, instantly block them. Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am. Ma'am, if someone deletes the web activity also, then the what they have searched, will it be in the server or it may got deleted from the server also?
No, it will be there. A lot of it, whatever, that's what a digital footprint means. Okay. So even if you had a Facebook account and you deleted your Facebook account, let's say, okay, whatever you posted there is there somewhere in the back Facebook. It can be accessed by them, not by others, but
yes, ma'am.
Hackers can access it or Facebook people can access it. So whatever you delete does not mean it's completely gone. Let's say messages you delete on your phone. Okay, yes, they will be gone. Nobody can access it. Yes, encryption is there. But if something happens and your phone is retrieved and if some crime happened, then Forensic Science Lab can easily access your phone and retrieve those messages. It has happened, like where there was murder happened, or some rape.
Also happened.
sexual assault happened, where police confiscated the phone, confiscated the laptop. They were able to trace the accused by phone messages, by tower exchange of messages to the tower. They can find the tower location exactly where the message was sent from. Even though the person deleted all the call record, deleted all the message, police can track it from which tower it was, the message came, where this person was, that those things can be tracked. Same way, like you said, even if you delete it completely, you will still be leaving a footprint. Maybe it's not accessible to you and your friends, but somebody who really wants to hack into it, and they may be able to access. Not everyone can access.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Also, there are instances where I just wanted to say, like I got a couple of this phone call where somebody from Delhi had called. They said, I am from HDFC Bank. Call me, and he said in Hindi he is talking. He kept saying in Hindi, Madam, मैं HDFC बैंक से बोल रही हूँ, आपका अकाउंट में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, हमको ये ठीक करना है. He went on talking. And then he said, आपका वो अकाउंट नंबर दीजिए, हम ये करना है. Then I asked him, which bank? I started asking him questions. I started asking questions. Okay, अच्छा, आप बैंक से है? आपका नाम क्या है? कहाँ है? आपका एड्रेस दीजिए थोड़ा. आपका phone number दीजिए. So I started asking him questions. So that made him very uncomfortable. Then he started like trying this escape route. He's like, नहीं मैडम, हम ये इधर से बोल रहे हैं. Then I told him, no HDFC or SBI or ICICI bank will call you and ask for your personal details like that. Nobody will ask for your password. Remember, you will never get a call from the bank asking for your password or ATM PIN. If it is somebody asking, trust me, 99.9% it's fake. Then when I started telling him all this, he started getting angry, the person whom I was talking to. Then I told him, I've taken your name, I've taken your phone number, I'm going to check with HDFC if there is a person like you employed in the bank. Then he started getting defensive. Okay. And then I said, I think I know who you are. I'm going to report you to police. I told him, cybercrime ko hum aapse complaint denge, hum zarur denge, aapka number bhi hai. And then, he started abusing me in Hindi. He started using bad words. He started giving me gali. What does it mean? That he is a fake. So if I had not sensed it, if I had not asked those questions, if I was an innocent elderly person or innocent person who trusted him, he would have taken my bank details and taken away all my money. And this is happening regularly to elderly people, to a lot of people who trust people easily. That is also something that you need to be careful. And if somebody from the bank calls you, you tell them, sorry, I cannot give you these personal information. I will come to the bank and give you. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. One more question, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am, you told that people will misuse our information, and when we should not trust anybody very easily, and that too in this generation, we definitely should not. Then, then how do we identify whether a person is really good or bad? Because there are people who care for us and there are people who care for us. So how do we identify them?
Yeah. So that's a very good question. It is not easy always to identify strangers, correct? Some strangers, they may call you, they might send you friend requests. And then you will be like, how do I know? That person may even know your details. They'll say, oh, I was in the same school. You remember that Stella Maris school? I also studied. You don't remember me? And then you will think, yeah, this person also studied in the same school, and you will add them as your friend. And in the meantime, that person has already gone through your profile, your personal information, whatever you have in Facebook or wherever, collected whatever information required. By the time you realize all that, this person has already collected your information. So it's very hard to say. Sometimes they will use existing information, what they gathered, to gain your trust. You just have to be careful. That sixth sense, what they say, you will have that gut feeling. I don't remember this person. He sounds very weird. Cross check, double cross check. Only when you're really sure, go ahead. And you know your friends, you know your friend circle, you know your relatives, you know your cousins. Correct? So those immediate people, you will never doubt them, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, and if we are not active on social media, will companies reject us?
No, not at all. Not at all. They don't care. They'll be happy if you're not on social media. So not at all. It's only that some of the companies will do a search on your name. They'll do a Google search. They will see, especially in the US, it's very common. They will ask for your social media links also to see what you're posting. LinkedIn, a lot of people are on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more of a professional network and it's used only for professional. So those things are safe. But whatever you post, you just have to be careful. All right? I hope I answered your question. You can have social media accounts. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying all of it is bad. I'm just asking you to be careful, cautious, have your privacy settings so that people don't misuse your personal information. Yes, anybody else? Yeah. Yes.
If any more questions, you can just type it in the chat box as well.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, one of my friend, he faced from an online fraud.
Yeah.
What happened is he saw a phone online where there are phone dealers in Instagram.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he thought that iPhone is most costliest phone.
Yeah.
So he was finding it in a very cheap rate. So he was like, okay, fine, let me buy it from him.
Yeah.
And then he transferred money, 30,000. And then later, he was like, after 3 days, I'll give the phone. I mean, I'll deliver the phone.
Yeah.
But then he blocked his number.
Correct. No phone, no money, all gone.
Yes, ma'am. It's all gone.
Yeah, it happens. A lot of people have suffered this kind of cyber fraud, especially if you're posting things like Craigslist and all that, no? Where there are portals where if you want to sell something, car dealers, especially car dealers, some people will post fake cars, and then you want to buy it and you'll go and then they'll say, oh, you give us 50,000 as advance, then we will come, we'll drop off the car, and then no car, no money, all gone. That has happened to a lot of people. And then suppose you are posting, you are selling something. Let's say you are selling your old sofa come bed, or you're selling your car, you put it out on the thing, say, used car for sale. You will give your home address, won't you? You will give your home address, your phone number will be there. These people who are cheating, scamsters, they will take that information. They will say, we are interested in buying your car. And then they will say, okay, this is my account and this is the information. Can we come to your house? One person took the car key. He drove away with the car. Never came back. He said, I'll do a test drive. Took the car and didn't come back. So these things also happen. So whatever you're posting online, whenever you get it, as much as possible, avoid online transfer of money. Like when you're buying something, you can either give a check. Check is always better, correct? Than doing where you're getting an OTP. When you give a check, at least you can trace it through the bank. So we just have to be careful. We just have to have that intuition, that sixth sense that something doesn't seem to be right. Be suspicious. It's okay. It's okay to be suspicious, but not to be paranoid. I'm not saying you should be paranoid and scared about everything, suspect everyone, but just be cautious.
Yes, ma'am. And then later he filed a complaint he called 112, and then he was like, he told all this thing, and then they were like, we can file a complaint, but then we can't get the money back.
Yeah.
This case, what are we supposed to do, ma'am?
Actually, recently they have come up with cybercrime in Bangalore has come up with a system where when you call cybercrime, you call 112 and immediately they'll ask them to connect to cybercrime. They will freeze your bank account. Immediately when you find some strange transactions in your bank or in your messages, Paytm, you can call this and they'll send a message to the bank and bank will freeze your account. So nobody can transact. So even if you are suspicious that somebody is taking away money from your account, you call your bank immediately or go to your bank and tell them, freeze my account. Somebody is trying to siphon away money. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I really enjoyed having an interactive session with all of you. I hope you learned something from this today. Did you?
Yes,
was it informative?
Yes, ma'am. It was informative for us, ma'am, and made us cautious about the about our activities in social media and what are the crimes happening in cyber and internet. It was an informative session, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you. I'm really glad to hear.
Ma'am, one
Excuse
more
me,
thing I
ma'am.
just wanted to ask, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, regarding this phone pay and Google pay, like not so frequently, but at least after our transactions or daily, at least once, if we be checking our
Yes.
transaction history and our
Yeah.
balance, it will be fine, no, ma'am. It will be safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you, I use phone pay. I mean, I use Paytm all the time. I use Paytm, Google Pay all the time. I don't carry money at all. So I use it a lot, but just exactly what you said, I do. I check my message immediately whether the correct amount has gone. I check it again. I check my bank account immediately to see that extra money has not gone. I doubly make sure that my account is safe. So you can do that. It's all safe
Correct, ma'am.
only. It's all safe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, these days, these dating apps and all are very much famous. I mean, I don't use it, but I have seen many of my
Yeah.
friends and all, they are using it. So what's your point of view regarding these apps? Because in that we are actually chatting with a stranger and then going to meet them and make our friends. I mean, you know all these, right?
Absolutely. That's a very, very good question you've asked. And it's a very valid, very relevant question because currently in this day and age, as you rightly said, dating apps are so common, dating apps are there, but you have to be careful because there will be strangers, people whom you absolutely don't know. You are going to go on a blind date with a person you have never met before. You'll be a total stranger. You have to be careful because there are a lot of fake profiles there. Now, there are some dating apps which are very valid. They do a background check of the people who are there in the dating app. So at least they would have done a complete background check and only after that they post. But there are a lot of dating apps which have no background checks, so it could be anybody. And I must tell you, this is not only for dating apps, but also like this Bharat matrimonial, people where they go looking for marriage. Even those
Yes, ma'am.
places have fake accounts, and there are people who are criminals who are looking for women to marry, and that person would have already been married, and maybe he would have married 5 times, but he's still putting his profile out there in a matrimonial and still looking to cheat somebody, and that could happen even in a dating app. So one suggestion I have is if you are going, if not you, I'm saying anybody who is going using a dating app, who's going to meet a person, please make sure you don't share any personal information with that person, like your home address, nothing. Okay, your photographs, nothing at all. And please tell your friend or someone who knows you well that you are going. It's okay to do that so that the other person knows where you're going with whom. And when you meet this person, again, don't take photographs don't allow that person to take your picture. Don't allow that because you don't know, he might misuse it. Don't share photographs with him. Don't share your home address details. If that person appears suspicious or something weird, your sixth sense is saying this is not safe, get out of there as soon as possible. Don't do it. Always meet the person where there are a lot of people in a mall. There are a lot of people where there are people whom you can scream for help. Never meet in private. Never go to that person's house ever. Never call, invite the person home. Never go to their house. Never go to an apartment. Never go to a hotel to meet anyone. Go public places where you feel safe and there will be CCTV cameras recording it. And if something happens, you can scream for help. So always make sure you are in a safe environment, even if you're using a dating app. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Excuse me, ma'am. A last question of mine.
Sure.
Ma'am, I used to get links from my own known person.
Yeah.
How to identify is that link is correct or fake? Like it's trying to hack that entire phone data. How to identify that things, ma'am?
Yeah, especially if you're getting it from a known person, then instantly we kind of click on it, isn't it? That is our immediate reaction. But if it is from a known ID, email ID, or a known number, you can feel safe. You can even ask that person, did you send it? That can be done, no? Some background check.
You can ask, hey, I got this email from you. Yeah, did you send it? Is it safe to click on it? And then that person might say, no, I didn't send anything. Then you immediately know it's a fake. Okay. So many of those are okay to click on, but many of them are not. It's a hard, tough call, because if I find messages which say, please click on this photograph and see what it is there, we have a surprise for you, I don't click, I immediately delete it. I don't even go bother to open it. Okay. So you have to use your common sense and see which may be safe and which may not be. And if you accidentally clicked and you found that your account is hacked, please report it. Please tell your friends my account is hacked and they may get strange messages from me. You can inform others. It has happened to a lot of people. It's not unusual. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I think I'll pass it over to Dr. Hema now. Thank you all very much. I really enjoyed the session. I wish you the best. Be safe always. Take care of yourself.
We are actually shocked to see, surprised, ma'am, to see the whole complete strength is there. Generally, if they log out, hardly will have 10 or 15. Today, almost 100% strength was there, even in YouTube and live streaming. Ma'am, it is really wonderful to get connected, and you've been associated with our institution as a part, as an external committee member. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving an insight on the topic cyber safety, which is very much need of the hour. And almost all of us, it's not only for the students, even for us, we would require this kind of knowledge, wherein sometimes we will be so negligent, we will not even bother that there's something, mischief which is going to happen with our negligence. So you have highlighted everything. I think the students are very happy, and it has been a very informative session, and we would like to call you for even more sessions like this. And thank you for giving it. It was your suggestion to have this kind of a talk, which was in need. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing yourself in spite of your busy schedule. And I would like to thank our principal, ma'am, Sashikala ma'am, and then our IQAC coordinator, Sarmishta Datta, and our students, of course, for being so patient and listening to you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session again. Can we all have a picture? Can we all come on to the camera, girls, so that we can have a picture? Can you please switch on the camera? You've been wonderful interacting, girls.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity I got to talk to you. It was my pleasure, and I wish you all the very best. I will log out now. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.